Hey friends, welcome to the Refuel Devotional. It's Pastor Ray. I am thrilled you're on here, and let me tell you why, okay? This last year has been so rough on the world, so rough on our country, so rough on Californians, and so rough on our own community and our own churches that finding people that are inspired has almost been a miracle. And as a pastor, here's my number one concern about this is this. Most of us, for a year have lived uninspired. And the problem with that is this: if you live uninspired for a long period of time, living an uninspired life starts to feel normal. And that's tragic. And so we started brainstorming, what could we do that would inspire people's hope and inspire people to dream again and inspire people to love again and inspire people to trust God again and inspire people to share their faith again and inspire people to start believing God has better days ahead. Because when you start believing God has better days ahead, then you move in directions that lead to those days coming your direction. And basically said this, let's just do Thrive for Bayside on site and give people 2 days that will change the next 300 days for these people. That's why we're doing the Thrive Conference. And if you're going, how bad do they want me here? We just changed the entire schedule. Okay, one of the roles of leaders is to listen. So many people said, I can't be there on Thursday, I'm working. We just had an emergency meeting this morning, changed the entire schedule of the conference so that we are starting on Thursday night and then Thursday night, and then all day Friday and Friday night, and we are cramming Thrive into those things so everybody can be there the entire time. Why are we doing this? Because we believe that God wants you living a life where you're inspired and encouraged, and you are enjoying God and enjoying the presence of God and enjoying people instead of enduring another day. I'm praying that God lights some fires at this Thrive Conference that will never go out, which is why we're bringing people in like, you've heard them all week, Miles McPherson, Christine Kane, and Chris Brown. I'd introduce Chris Brown, but there's really nothing to say. You've heard him before. It's almost like if you take the Bible and somebody that's a modern day Peter and you put them together and you unleash pure energy, that's Chris Brown. You need to be inspired? Check this out.
Give you a roadmap to make sure you end this life without having to put an asterisk next to it. You end this life without looking back with the guilt, shame, and embarrassment that so many leaders are being taken out with today. And in the midst of my Sunday school guy getting all caught up in Samson, almost every single paragraph, God said, notice this. Notice this. Notice this. This guy is not here to be your hero. This guy is here to help you to make sure you never end up like him. How to be an ideal idiot from the life of Samson. Number one, assume that great success always outweighs small sins. Assume that great success always outweighs small sins. Did you catch this? From the very beginning of this story, Samson says, I want something from the enemy's territory. I had a wise pastor, an incredible friend of mine, say, never mess with the enemy's junk. He told me the story about a guy named Achan who saw and wanted, who took, who hid. He kicked off a conference I was at once with an incredible story to show each of us it just starts here. Samson saw and said, Mom and Dad, I want. You should get something from the Lord. You should stay in our church. You should stay according to get her for me. Get her for me. Samson has a Nazirite vow. You're supposed to keep yourself clean. Never touch the unclean. Never touch a dead carcass. Samson, it's okay to go look once again at where you killed the lion, but you can't go into that carcass. Whether that was expressly a Nazirite vow, it is covered by Leviticus 11. This is why the Bible said he did not tell his parents where he got the honey, because according to their rule, their Bible, the Torah, first 5 books of the Bible, you cannot eat anything that comes from a dead carcass. And the Bible gives us a hint of what is going on, simply a hint of what's to come. Your Nazirite vow that the angel told your parents you would be under your entire life. Never cut your hair, never touch a dead carcass, never drink or eat anything from the vine. You made a dumb bet. You had to kill 30 guys. The Bible doesn't specifically state it, but I think the reason that story's there, just to tell you, he touched 30 dead bodies. You don't strip live dudes. Killed 30 men, then he took their clothing. Samson, you have been dancing in the enemy's territory the entire time, but your appetite for the world's honey has overcome your desire for obedience. And you know what? Honey tastes good. And you know what? God doesn't send lightning bolts. Remember when you used to play around with the world? Remember when you used to click on? Remember what you used to watch? Remember what's going outside the marriage? Remember the financial disobedience in your life? Remember how at first we had a prayer, oh God, I don't want to do this. Oh God, I don't want to fall into this again. God, help me. God, I'm going to walk away from this. Remember after a time those prayers get old and we just stop doing the prayers because life is still successful.